Welcome back to Harlan's Homies FFL Power Rankings Season 6. Anywho, welcome back. It's the most wonderful time of the year. Yes, it is. I hope you guys are excited because tomorrow is opening day. Giants and Cowboys open it up for us, and the regular season is on the way. We're going to have to wait a few more days until the regular season actually picks up on Sunday, and then go Chargers against Raiders on Monday. Anywho, with that being said, I have to thank everyone for listening to my audios. I know they were really long last year. I will try to do videos, mix it up this year with audios and videos. I will try to keep it as short as possible, but enough so it's kind of entertaining. Anywho, let's start the league officially with the power rankings with number 12. At number 12, we have no other than Kapow. So Kapow, I mean, John's team. Oh man, I love you, John, but yikes. I'm looking here and I don't know. I just see Peyton Manning. I think he's gonna be good, but geez Louise, you have like nothing but second stringer starting. Demaryius Thomas, Greg Little, Laurent Robinson. I mean, you got Fred Jackson. I mean, he could be good. Antonio Gates, there you go. I don't know, John. I'm sorry. You know what? But last year, I said that Danny's team, is going to be. He had no one on his team last season. Like, who are these players? And he made the playoffs. I think he was actually ranked number 3. So hey, you could be the Danny's team of this year. So ironically, you're actually playing Danny's team to start it up. So good luck, John. But yeah, my pick for that game, anyways. They got Danny's team against John's Kapow. I'm gonna have to go with Danny's team. At number 11, it pains me to do this, but we have the Knights. Now, I think the Knights are actually better than 11, but like I said, these power rankings, it's just number 12 to 1, no real ranking, because we don't know where isn't it. But I think the Knights, they're not really, tally that high, ranked that high, because he's got Phillip Rivers, and Phillip Rivers is great. But this could be his demise. The Knights is such a homer, but you never know. Andre Johnson, solid wide receiver. I mean, a game changer, probably top 5 wide receiver for sure. But when's the last time he played 16 games? I mean, maybe 3 years ago, 4 years ago. Reggie Wayne, Reggie Wayne is a top caliber wide receiver, but he doesn't have Manning throwing to him anymore. He has Luck. I mean, Luck shows that he's pretty good, so I don't know. I mean, Reggie Wayne could be a safety blanket, and that could be good. Antonio Brown, solid second wide receiver for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Probably could take over the number 1 spot if Mike Wallace doesn't come back to form after the holdout. Darren Sproles and Evan Royster. Drafting Ryan Matthews was kind of risky, but the Knights have a good team, but I just don't know if his team's going to add up. It could. He got Ben Tate. If Arian Foster gets hurt, he's got Trent Richardson and Randy Moss and Andrew Luck. He's got a solid second-tier team, but you don't know if it's going to add up. So at 11, we have the Knights. At number 10, we have Danny's team. Anyhow, one of these days I'm going to learn how to pronounce that. So we have his QB is Michael Vick. Solid player, but you just don't know what Michael Vick. I personally don't trust him anymore, to be honest. I think he's definitely fallen from the top tier quarterbacks. Calvin Johnson, solid. That guy's been solid for years, and I think he's going to get him points no matter what. Nate Washington, I don't think so. Maybe, who knows? Darius Hayward-Bay, like I said, yeah, no. Ray Rice, yes. Isaac Redman, he could, if he blows up the first 5 weeks, then he might take over the starting job over Rashard Mendenhall. But that all depends on how it's going to go with Isaac Redman and other running back. I don't know who it is. Heath Miller, just solid, second, third tier tight end. And Sebastian Janikowski will probably get him his most points. He has a great team. That's actually a good card. He has a good team, but I don't know where it's going to go. He's my wild card. At number 9, we have the Roaring Lion. Now, okay, I don't get Yahoo, because Yahoo said that the Roaring Lion had the best draft. I mean, it's okay, but I mean, he has Matt Ryan as QB, you know, solid second-tier QB. Larry Fitz, who's amazing, but who's he got? Josh Skelton throwing to him. Torrey Smith, who had a great kind of run last year, but you don't know if he's gonna have a sophomore slump or, you know, progress even more. Michael Crabtree and LaShawn McCoy. I mean, that's a great running back right there. And Sean Green. Also a good running back, but you don't know how that New York O-line is going to be. Rob Gronkowski, he could be doing great, but he's been partying a lot this summer. You know, Aaron Hernandez who might take over. He has an okay team. Like, he's got a good team, but not worthy of like the top draft, you know, picker. So, anyways, I think he's number 9 right now. At number 8, we have Monkey or Elton. I don't know where that name Monkey came from, but anyways. He's got Big Ben at quarterback, who's always just pretty solid, you know, not huge points, but, you know, always gets some points. Wes Welker, he had a monster year last year, but he's with contract negotiations, but he did good. Steve Smith is good. I think he's still a little injured, but he can still be good. Chris Carvin, doing great. I mean, he doesn't have Brett Favre over to him. Darren McFadden, when healthy, amazing. Steven Jackson, still grinds it out, even though he's super old. Jimmy Graham, amazing tight end, but you just never know. Matt Bradshaw and Doug Martin. He's got a lot of solid, you know, up-and-coming players, sleepers, I guess you would say. I think he has a good team again, but, you know, he's at number 8, and that's all I'm going to say about that. At number 7, we have Carlos Badian, or Badian, or I don't know, Eddie, I guess you would say. Anywho, Eddie, I mean, has a solid team. I think very worthy of the 7th spot. I mean, I don't think you can complain about that. Drew Brees, solid QB. When I throw in my Madden 11 disc, or when I used to play it, you know, the first thing, you know, the New Orleans Saints would be there, and I always heard the, you know, the announcer say, oh, you know, blah, 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 New Orleans Saints Super Bowl champions, you know, Coach Payton said that he let Drew Brees, you know, design the offense with him. So I heard that, and I was thinking, well, Drew Brees doesn't need a coach because he designs the offense, so he's probably just running the plays right there anyways. So I think Drew Brees is still going to be an amazing quarterback, so he's got a solid quarterback. Greg Jennings, solid wide receiver. Could lose some points to Jordy Nelson, but I think he's still Aaron Rodgers' top pick. Jeremy Maclin, great wide receiver for the Eagles. Brandon Lloyd, Arian Foster. Those are top players right there. I'm a little worried about C.J. Spiller and Mercedes Lewis and some of his bench players. I don't know, you know. He's got definitely 4 or 5 good players that could keep him in the game. But I don't know if his backups are going to produce points. So anyways, number 7 right now. Number 6, we got Newbie Wed. Which actually is not Newbie Wed. It's almost like it should be second year Wed. Anyways, great name. He has Matthew Stafford, Vincent Jackson, Miles Austin, Pierre Garcon, Beanie Wells, David Wilson, and Aaron Hernandez. Now, Matthew Stafford puts up points. The only thing is, he's a little brittle. Last year was amazing. Fantasy, I mean, just was amazing whoever had him. But, like I said, he can get injured and you're kind of screwed. Vincent Jackson, amazing for Rivers, but he has Josh Freeman. You know, it could be Josh Freeman's pacifier, but you never know. Miles Austin, you know, he's hit or miss. Pierre Garcon, I mean, is he going to be RG3's number 1 target? Maybe, you don't know. Beanie Wells has had a monster year, but I heard he's fighting with a rookie. David Wilson, I don't know. And Aaron Hernandez, I think, is a good solid pickup. He's got Adrian Peterson, and I think when healthy, is going to boost his team up in the power rankings. And Tony Gonzalez, Santana. I think he has a solid team. I think he just has to figure out how to play each player as the season goes along. So, number 6, Newbie Wed. Number 5, we got a Beach Boys. Kevin Beach. Cam Newton, I mean, he was just a fantasy god last year. I mean, he was just unstoppable. I mean, I personally think he's going to have a sophomore slump, but, you know, prove me wrong. Prove me wrong. Deshaun Jackson, I think he's a great fantasy option because you got the punt return and a wide receiver. He does have that kind of, you know, Randy Moss kind of quits on you kind of attitude, but he got paid, so maybe he'll play now. Julio Jones, I think, is going to blow up this year, in my opinion. Mike Wallace, great wide receiver, but he was holding out, so I don't know. MJD, I think he's going to be great. Roy Helu, I don't know about that. I think he should start Mark Ingram or Donald Brown over them, but I think he has a solid team, and that's why he's number 5. At number 4, we have, oh how sweet it is, and that's Joe. I think, I mean, great drafter. He's got a great team. Tom Brady. I mean, Tom Brady's always going to put points on you. I mean, that guy just, love him or hate him, he's just a Hall of Fame QB. He just knows what he's doing. I hate him hitting that because he's beaten the Chargers so many times and it pisses me off. But, yes, Tom Brady is amazing. Brandon Marshall, I think he's going to blow up with Jay Cutler. Hakeem Nicks, you know, he's going to be hit or miss if Victor Cruz takes over the number 1 spot. Des Bryant, I think, is due for a breakout year. I mean, DeMarco Murray, Willis McGahee, Owen Daniels, he's just got a solid team. And I think he's going to win his next game. So, he's my number 4. At number 1, 2, 3, we have a Barcelona, also known as Brett. I think Barcelona actually has a good team. I mean, we love Brett because it's Brett, but I think he had an excellent draft. He had Jay Cutler, who I think is actually going to do really well. AJ Green, who was just a monster rookie last year. Roddy White, always a solid number 1 wide receiver. Marcus Colston, Drew Brees thrown at him. Marshawn Lynch, who blew up last year. Matt Forte, who got paid and I think is going to have a monster year as well. Brandon Pettigrew. His backup is Andy Dalton. Got Robert Meachin. I mean, his starting lineup is solid enough to win the first 2 or 3 games. And so, I think Barcelona comes at 3. I mean, solid team. I think Brett did a great job. And I wait for Barcelona's alter ego power rankings after this. So, anywho, number 3, Barcelona. At number 2, we have, hey, why don't we add another 2 to those? 22. 22 has been a monster in this league. He's like the New England Patriots of our league. Love him or hate him, you know, he's a great contribution to us. And he knows what he's doing. I mean, I don't know how he does it, but he does. 2010, 2 years ago, he goes undefeated, goes to the playoffs, gets knocked off. Last year, I think he loses 2 games, makes it to the playoffs, and loses. You know, I don't care who he drafted, he just knows what he's doing, and so that's why I have to go number 2. He has Eli Manning, who I cannot stand, but hey, sometimes when we can't stand players, people pick him up, and he's got him. Victor Cruz had a monster year last year. Dwayne Bowe's always solid. Malcolm Floyd could blow up, so we picked him up. Chris Johnson, Jamal Charles, Jermichael Finley. Like I said, on paper, doesn't really scare you, but just the name 22 should scare you. So at number 2, we have 22. And at number 1, if your mathematical skills are not up to par and you don't have the superhero power of deduction, then you won't know who it is. But I think we've all figured it out. It's Harlans Homies, FFL's champion of 2011, deserving of number 1 no matter how his team looks. Bruises, also known as Michael and also formerly known as Carter the Great. Bruises has a great team. Aaron Rodgers, hey, that's what took him to win the season last year, so he brought him back. Jordy Nelson, Stevie Johnson, Eric Decker could be a monster for Manning. Michael Turner, Frank Gore. 2 running backs that I believe are 2 of the same type of running backs. They grind it out, their power, their workhorses, but they might not get a lot, like, they might not run for, like, break out for a lot of yards, but they grind it out, and they'll always have about, like, 80 to 120 yards. Fred Davis is a great option. And Stephen Ridley, Sidney Rice, Nate Rose. His backups are kind of, you know, I honestly think his team's, you know, hit or miss, but since he's the champion, he gets number 1. So, thank you for watching the Power Rankings. Sorry if it went a little long, but hey, thanks for listening and welcome back. Are you guys ready for some football?